Welcome to Science Made Easy channel. A channel you will not want to miss.
So good morning my fans and my lovers. So welcome to our channel, and we continue from where we stopped the other time in chemistry. And today we're talking about elements, compound and mixture. And I know that you are enjoying our channel. So thank you so much. So today we'll be talking about elements. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you. So what do we mean by elements? Normally there are some basics you have to know in chemistry before you can even say that you want to go into higher places or to know more better in chemistry. One of the things you have to know in chemistry for further inquiries in chemistry is what? An element. So what do we mean by an element? An element is a substance that cannot be split into simpler units by an ordinary chemical process. So that means an element is the simplest form of a compound, of a molecule, or of anything. So which cannot be divided, which cannot be split into simpler units. It's called an element. So thank you. Now, and when talking about an element, we have over 119 elements in the earth crust, but they are still discovering more elements. And the first person that defined an element is called A. Lavoisier. A. Lavoisier is the first person A. Lavoisier is the first person to define an element. His name is A. Lavoisier. And one of the things that you have to know about an element, we just, at this first stage, we'll be talking about the first 20 elements. And please, you have to memorize these first 20 elements. They are the smallest element, they are the one that you have to first know in talking about the element. Now, we have what? Hydrogen, helium, and all these elements we are seeing, they have what we call symbols. The atomic number. This is the atomic number. We'll talk about the atomic number later. The atomic number is the number they belong to in the periodic table. That is the number they belong to in the periodic table. When we move further, we will talk about what meant by the atomic number. But at this stage, let's just assume that what is the number they belong to. Number one is hydrogen. This is the element. And this symbol. The symbol for hydrogen is H. Helium. The symbol is He. Number three is what? Lithium. The symbol is Li. Number 4 is beryllium. The symbol is Be. Number 5 is boron. The symbol is B. Number 6 is carbon. The symbol is C. Number 7, nitrogen. The symbol is N. Number 8, oxygen. The symbol is O. Number 9, fluorine. The symbol is F. And number 10, neon. The symbol is Ne. So one of the things that you have to first know the atomic number. Know the number that belongs to the periodic table. The hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. These are the first 10. Now moving to the 11 to 20. Moving to the 11 to 20. So number 11 is sodium. Normally, you see that out of all those elements, the letter that starts them, that is the number, that is their symbol. The letter that starts them, that is their symbol. But in the case of sodium, it's different. The symbol they have depend on their Latin name. They have what called Latin name. Latin name means what? The name they call them in Latin. So for sodium now, the name they call sodium in Latin is not sodium. It's not like the letter, it starts from Na. The name they call sodium in Latin, it starts from Na, that is natrium. It starts from Na. So that is the name they call what? Sodium. That is why the symbol is Na. Because the name that they call it in Latin does not start from S. That's why the symbol is Na. So for the case of sodium, they don't start with the name they call it. So it's not with the letter they call it. Number 12, magnesium. Mg. Number 13, aluminium. This one is Al. Number 14, silicon. Sr. Number 15, phosphorus. P. Number 16, sulfur. S. Number 17, chlorine. Cl. Number 18, argon. Ar. Number 19, potassium. Now, potassium also, the symbol does not have a P because the name they call potassium in Latin does not have from P, it has from K. And number 20, we have the calcium. So we have them like that. We have them, talking about all those elements, we have them like that. So we have from the first 20. And we still have 21 to, we have a lot, 119. 21 is scandium, titanium, vanadium. All those ones we still have them. But at the early stage of chemistry, we have to follow the first 20 elements and the atomic number of one. Because this atomic number, we'll be using it when we are moving further in chemistry. So you have to know the atomic number very well. Please. So after establishing that, let me tell us about ions. Let me tell us about ions. Because we have to know them, all those ions, because as you are moving further in chemistry, as you are naming, we start naming compound now, and I start telling you how to name compounds in chemistry. And if you don't know ions, you might not be able to name those compounds perfectly. Now, let me tell you about ions before I move into compound. So now, these elements, they are divided into metals, metalloids, and non-metals. Now, we have what we call the atomic shell. Normally, the first shell of an atom in an atomic shell, always we have something like this which is called the first shell. Once inside it, we call it nucleus. This is the innermost shell. This is the innermost shell. The innermost shell. And the innermost shell of an atom contains the least of 2 electrons. Maximum. So it contains the maximum of 2 electrons. The innermost shell contains the maximum of 2 electrons. While other shell in an atomic shell contains 8 electrons. So this one contains maximum of 2 electrons. While the other shell always contains 8 electrons. Maximum of 8 electrons. Maximum of 8 electrons. So once this is established, once what I'm just telling you now is established, you can able to know which one is a metal, which one is a non-metal, and which one is a metalloid. So how can we now know? Now, for example, let's talk about hydrogen. Hydrogen is what? Number one out of those elements. That means you will start your drawing of the shell of hydrogen from the first shell. And I think that the first shell always contains maximum of 2. But hydrogen has how many electrons? How many atoms? 1. So you have to put the 1. So that means hydrogen has 1. So one thing is that for metals, apart from for metals always contain 1 to 3 electrons in the outermost shell. Not in the inner shell. Metals always contain 1 to 3 electrons in the outermost shell. So anyone that you see that contains 1 to 3 electrons in the outermost shell, they are metals. And anyone you see that contain 4 electrons in the outermost shell and contain 4 electrons in the outermost shell, is a metalloid. Why do you call them a metalloid? Because some of them here, they behave as a non-metal, while some of them behave as a metal. For example, carbon and silicon behave as a non-metal, but lead and tin, which also belongs to having a 4 electron in the outermost shell, they are metals. That's why they call them a metalloid. They fall in the middle. Because some of them behave as a metal, while some behave as a non-metal. That means if you now have about 5 to 8 electrons in the outermost shell, 5 to 8 electrons in the outermost shell, that means it is what? They are non-metals. The non-metals always have 5 to 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And don't forget, I told you, not in the innermost shell. Because that means all those ones that their electron is just stopped at the innermost shell, they are non-metals. And what are the examples of the elements that their electrons stop in the innermost shell? That is the number 2, hydrogen and helium. Hydrogen has 1 electron in the innermost shell, and it has 2 electrons. And helium has 2 electrons in the innermost shell. So both hydrogen and helium, they are non-metals. Those that have their electron stopping at the innermost shell, they are non-metals. So now, talking about the remaining, like, let me talk about lithium. Lithium is number 3 element. Lithium has, now, I think that the first shell will contain a maximum of 2. And lithium is number 3. That means it is more than 2. That means if I draw the first shell will contain 2 electrons. That is the maximum that the first shell can contain. That means if I draw another shell, it should make how many electrons for the another shell to complete? It may 1, because lithium has 3. So lithium has 1 electron in the outermost shell. So you cannot say that lithium is a metal. Why is it a metal? Because it contains 1 to 3 electrons in the outermost shell. And that outermost shell, we call those electrons in the outermost shell, we call them valence electron. Valence electron. Valence electron are the electron in the outermost shell. So those ones that contain 1 to 3 electrons in the outermost shell, they are metals like lithium. Another one, beryllium, which is number 4. Beryllium has 4. That means if you have got 4 electrons, that means the first shell will contain 2. It's going full. That means the second shell will also contain what? 2 electrons. That means beryllium is a what? Is a metal. Why? It contains 2 electrons in the outermost shell. Let me also talk about boron. Boron is number 5. 2 electrons in the innermost shell. It's going 3 electrons in the outermost shell. I feel that the outermost shell can contain a maximum of 8. That it can contain more than 2 electrons. So beryllium is a metal. Let's now see how can we know the ions that they carry. What is ions? Ions means what? A charge. So let me define an ion. Ion is an atom or group of atoms that possesses an electric charge. Ions is the charge that each element carries. How can we now know the charge that each element carries? For example, lithium has 1 electron in the outermost shell. That means if lithium has 1 electron in the outermost shell, and one thing about the ions is that although the ions are divided into 2, which is cation and anion. What are the cation? Cation are positive charge, while anion are negative charge. That means if you say cation, cation always have a positive charge, anion always have a negative charge. How will we now know which one that carry a positive charge and which one that carry what a negative charge? Let's now see. Anyone that have 1 to 3 electrons in the atmosphere. Let's talk about metals. That metals contain 1 to 3 electrons in the atmosphere. That means metals always carry a positive charge, while the non-metals always carry a negative charge. So that means the one that carry 1 to 3 electrons in the atmosphere, they usually carry a positive charge. What does that mean by that? It's because if they carry 1 electron in the atmosphere, out of 8 electrons that they should have in the atmosphere, that means they don't have, they have a long way to go to complete 8. That means they can give it out. That means, for example, me and you now, I have garri, I have sugar, I have epa, I have kulikuli, I have groundnut, I have coconut. And you just have only garri, no sugar, no groundnut, no coconut. That means me I have extra, I can able to give you. So that is something about all these one that have 1 to 3 electrons in the atmosphere. Because they don't even have also half of what they need. All what they need is 8. They don't even have 1 to 3, they don't also have of what they need. So they can dash it out to people that need it. Those are what we call the positive charge. The positive charge are donors. Donors means they donate electron. They give. So whenever you see positive in chemistry or in an ion or in a compound, it means what? Positive means what? Loss of electron. That means they can lose it. That means they can lose the electron. But whenever you see negative, negative means what? They can gain electron. Negative means it needs some electron to complete. They must complete 8 electrons. The maximum of electron that they can complete is 8. So that means if we have an element that has almost 8, what will happen? If you're looking for someone to give him, those are the ones that are negatively charged. Those are the ones that are negatively charged because they need some electrons to complete. Now, for example, lithium has 1 electron in the atmosphere. Then we can give it out. That means it has an extra 1 electron. That is why lithium is what? Ni plus. Plus means what? Plus 1. Plus 1 means it has an extra 1 electron. So the reason why this is plus 1 is because it has an extra 1. I know that 1 to 3 electrons are positive charge. That means they can give it out. 1 to 3 is not up to half of 8. The number of electrons that they need to complete is 8. So if you have 1 electron in the atmosphere, you can lose it. So that means if it is 1 electron, that is plus 1. For example, beryllium. Beryllium has 2 electrons in the atmosphere. Still, you see how a long way to go to complete 8. Let the beryllium be Be 2 plus. 2 plus means it has an extra 2. Boron now, it has 3. It has a long way to go to complete 8. That means it has an extra 3. That is why boron is what? 3 plus. That means it has an extra 3. So all these ones that have a positive charge, they are metals. Metals always has a positive charge. The only element that has a positive charge that is not a metal is hydrogen. It is hydrogen. So, looking at these ones, they are cations. Why are they cations? Because they possess a positive charge. Let's now check those ones that do not carry a positive charge. For example, let's see number 7 now, nitrogen. Nitrogen contains 7, is number 7. That contains 7 electrons. And I told you, the first shell must contain maximum of 2. So once the first cell contains 2, that means the next cell will contain 5. Because once 2 has gone out of 7, it means what? 5. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is nitrogen. So that means nitrogen contains more than, it's contained about what? 5 to 8 electrons. And I told you that if you contain 5 to 8 electrons in the atmosphere, that means it's a non-metal. You can see nitrogen contains 5. That means nitrogen is a non-metal. What would happen in charge of nitrogen? Nitrogen has already had more than 1 to 3 electrons. That means it has had 5 electrons. That means nitrogen cannot give out all the 5. What we now be looking for is just make 3 for it to complete 8. So we will not be looking for someone to give him 3 to complete what? 8. That is actually that if they contain 5 to 7, they can't give it out again because they are almost complete. So they'll be looking for someone to give them. So if they are looking for someone to give them, that means they are negative. Negative means what? They are deficient. So nitrogen contains only 3 to complete. That means if you need only 3 to complete, that means it will be negative. That means what will happen in charge of nitrogen? And 3 minus. 3 minus means it needs only 3 electrons. I told you that if it contains 1 to 3, they can give it out because they have extra. But once it has asked 5 already, for example, you need 800 naira and you have 500 naira already. Will you give out, and you have a friend that also needs 800 naira, but the friend needs 300, but the friend has 300 naira, but the friend still have about 500 naira to complete. Will you give the friend the 500 naira? No, because you are almost reaching where you are going. That means you need someone to give you what? 300 naira. That is what happens to nitrogen. That is 3 minus. And because it is minus, it was a non-metal. Now, let me now talk about oxygen. Oxygen is what? Number 8. I told you in the first place that the first shell can contain a minimum of 2. A maximum of 2. And the many shells, that means if you don't contain 2, it means how many become 8? It means 6. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means oxygen is mean what? 2 electrons for oxygen to complete. Will oxygen give out in 6? No, because we need only 2. If you're looking for someone to give him what? 2. That is why oxygen will have what? O2 minus. That means oxygen is looking for someone to give him. So that is why nitrogen and oxygen, they are non-metals because they are negatively charged. Let's now check